Well, here we are, getting ready for the 222 Bozo Net, K6MYC, beaming into the Bay Area. Q.R. said Bozo Net. Anybody around this evening on 222.1 K6MYC, May 1st.
K6MYC, KD6, that's okay. I'm off frequency, but I'll tune you in.
Okay, yeah, you're off a little bit, Fred, not too bad. KD6, that's okay, good evening. Pretty good signal this evening on 222. And without moving the antenna on you, you're perfectly Q5, so that's good. Anyway, good to hear you. KD6 Sugar Oscar Kilo 507 K6MYC.
Yeah, good signal tonight, Mike. Actually, you're coming in pretty steady and a good, I don't think I pointed directly on you, but excellent conditions tonight as opposed to, I think, 1296 the other day. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll get better and better conditions as the weather gets more stable, if it can be that way. It was supposed to be warm today again. It was supposed to get to 76, but I don't think we made it again today. And I worked all day pulling weeds. I just about got the last weed. I pulled the last weed today, Fred. There's no more ever to be found. Over.
Congratulations. You got the last weed. Oh, it's like getting the last word. There you go. That's great. Yeah, it didn't get to 76 today. It was really cool. I thought it would be warmer than supposed to be, but it was a beautiful day just the same. And we might get a change in the weather again this weekend. Maybe we'll get some rain. We'll see.
Well, I don't know what's going on. I haven't seen the weather report past Friday. It was supposed to be pretty warm all week here. In fact, this is now Monday, and I thought we would be in the 75-80 bracket at least and higher. I thought it was going to go that way. Tomorrow is May 1st. It's May 1st GMT-wise. I always I keep the Bozo log in GMT time, so it's May 1st today as far as I'm concerned, and as far as the log is concerned, hi. So we always think that May is going to be lovely and warm and beautiful, and sometimes it disappoints me. Anyway, good to hear you. Yeah, you're sounding very strong here this evening. So hopefully everything's running okay there. One of these days you're going to take a little bit of time and put some effort into your system. Do you have any, I don't think you have any covenants. You're not in a community. That house you have is old, so it's been there a long time. So are you ever having any plans for putting up a tower and doing something more serious here, over?
Not at the moment. We'll have to see. I'm thinking about going to a different location where I could put up an antenna on a ridge or on a hilltop or something and get off the flatlands.
Well, that'd be a good idea. That's on your, before you retire or after?
Probably after.
Okay. How far is that away?
I don't know. It could be this year. It could be next week. The company I work at is pretty squirrely, so I have no idea.
Yeah, well, I mean more related to your age. You're not 65 yet, are you?
Yes, I am. So, you're supposed to take Medicare, sign up for that when you're 65, and I think I can take Social Security at 66 and a half or 66 and 10 months or whatever.
I think they raised it from 65 to 67 or something, as you said, where you can take full Social Security. I hope you're not going to live on that.
No, I won't. I have other income, but yeah, we'll have to see. I haven't made any plans yet. We'll see.
Well, you better get started on some plans, bud. Can't just stumble along forever and then all of a sudden find yourself retired and don't know what the hell you're going to do. Anyway, I'm just poking pointy sticks at you. I'd like to see you put up something a little better and have a little more signal for us to work with. And you got all the bands, you got all the equipment, but you're limited in rotation, no rotators, no nothing there in most cases. So that would be nice to have that more flexibility and maybe even something on HF. But like you say, maybe you don't feel comfortable doing it in that location where you're at now. Anyway, good to hear you. I think we should take a listen and see if there's anybody else in here. It's been pretty quiet leading up to the opening of the net here. I don't point south very much because there's not much going on there. Anybody can that is in on 220 can get into me even though I'm pointed to the west. So back to you, Fred, and you can wrap her up, and we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow on 1296, or maybe even later if you want to take a big jump and do a 6-meter jaunt over.
Okay, Mike, no, it's good to talk to you this evening. So I was trying to think of something to tell you. So I'll have to see how this goes. But yeah, the end is near, and that's always a big transition when you have to retire. When did you retire from? So you're still working, right? KD6, that's okay.
Well, I'm not working really, Frank. Fred. I can't work anymore because I'm essentially blind. I'm useless. I can consult, and Matt runs some things by me, and we talked about business, but he's running the business. I'm essentially retired. I was tired yesterday, and I'm retired today, over.
Okay, so Frank's running the business now?
What was the question?
So is your son running the business now?
Oh, yeah, he has been for some time, pretty thoroughly for the last 3 or 4 years. I've been easing my way out of it for the last 5 or 6 years. Even when Myrna was sick, he was running the show, and he's taken it over now completely. And I have say in it, but I just stand back and let it roll, over.
Gotcha. So that business that's still working along just fine?
Well, we are, because we have so much other business. Ham Radio, as you know, with the MFJ filing, I don't think they filed bankruptcy. I think they're just quitting. MFJ is getting out of the business. That means that there's a big lag in amateur radio products and sale, and not necessarily interest. But the money to be spent on ham radio has been seriously limited by this economic downturn that we're fighting. And so the guys just don't have the money anymore. What they're doing is, and of course, along with that, there's a lot of problems. People get on, all of a sudden they can't hear anything, and they're surrounded by neighborhoods that are cluttered with noise. They also have, other problems. You can't do certain things in certain neighborhoods. You sign commitments that you can't put up any antennas and all that sort of stuff. And then you've got, mostly just the economic thing, but a lot of people passing away. And from a ham radio sales standpoint, business-wise, there's so much used equipment on the air or on the market. It takes away from the main product sale. So all those things probably got to MFJ big time. We are isolated from ham radio from that problem, but because we have so many other business aspects dealing with the military, the government, all kinds of different commercial aspects, and universities and things like that. So we have a whole line of products that is not related to ham radio. And Matt was just telling me it's products that ham radio should have, but when you start to put the thing together to do satellite work with multiple flexibilities of polarity and this and that and the other thing, and all the preamps and this and that and the other thing that's required with sequencing and relays and yada yada yada, all of a sudden you're looking at a number cost-wise that's out of the realm of most amateurs' concepts. So. That's the other thing. Things have gotten more expensive to do in some respects, Fred. KD6SOK with a pause for anybody else on the net here, K6MYC.
KW6WIS here.
Okay, got two of you. So, Fred, we'll wrap it with that thought. Over. KD6SOK for your final. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mike. I didn't know MFJ was going out of business. That's news to me. Boy, they were so low cost, I thought they were going to last forever. That is incredible news. I did not know that. So when did they file Chapter 11? And good evening, Paul. Back to you, Mike. Go ahead.
No, they didn't go bankrupt. They just, the owner, Martin Francis Jew, MFJ, Martin Francis Jew, is 80 years old, and all of a sudden he looked around and said, I don't have anybody to take over the company. I'd like to spend more time with my family. I only have a few years left. And I just don't think this thing is going anywhere. We were hurt seriously by COVID. He did make a mistake and mandate that all his employees must take the vaccination, and it's caused him no end of trouble. He's having trouble. I think from what we understand, he's having trouble getting the workers to come in every day. There's more sickness and more lack of, energy and more lack of attention to what they're supposed to be doing and this, that, and the other thing. So all those things combined have had some serious effect on the people that were forced to take the vaccination. I mean, the vaccination is having some serious effect on people these days. Many countries in South Africa, for instance, are shutting down for the same reason. And I think if you looked at it seriously, you'd find many countries in the U.S., small, medium-sized companies are closing if they stuck to the mandate of forcing people to take the vaccination over.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. And a lot of people, like a good friend of mine, had a heart attack, and I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the vaccinations he took. Because he was healthy, and all of a sudden, boom, he gets this heart attack, and he's dead at 71, which just blew my mind. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, well, that's happening more than you'd want to know. The reason that my friend Judy and all her family didn't take it was because her grandson was a fireman, a paramedic on the fireman line, and he was continually taking guys that were 20 to 30 to 35 years old to the hospital with heart attacks. Myocarditis is what the vaccination can cause in people of that age. And he was seeing a huge increase in myocarditis and heart attacks in people that were way too young to have that problem, have a heart problem. And he said, he told everybody in the family, do not take that mRNA vaccination. Do not take it. Stay away from it. And they have. And, of course, it's nobody in their family has had any issues. Anyway, I'll let you go, Fred, but yeah, it's a complex situation. But MFJ wrote a letter to everybody. He owns, of course, Cushcraft, he owns High Gain, and he owns Ameritron and Spectronics, aside from his own company of MFJ. So it's going to take a lot of that stuff off the market, apparently. Let's see, over to you, Tom, and I'm sure you're listening here. I'm a little bit off of you, so you're weak, but no problem copying. KW6S in the group, K6MYC.
K6MYC, KW6S. Yeah, I can hear you just fine. I've got a lot of noise here tonight, just atmospheric type stuff, but you're in over the top of that in good shape. And, yeah, not much going on here. Just doing a little shop work. Got back to my walking down to the water and didn't make it to the water, but walking down to the Young Arbor. Just kind of enjoying a beautiful day here. Perfect temperature and no wind. So just to let you know that it was a great day outside. And just really enjoying life. KW6S.
Well, that's good, and I'm sure you had a good time back east last week, and maybe got a new perspective and a new viewpoint on life as you spent quite a bit of time with your cousin of 90 years old. All righty. Good enough, and we'll see you, of course, in a few minutes on 6. If you can come back in a few minutes on 6, Tom. Break in anytime you're hearing me. You don't have to wait for the net to come around in your direction. If you hear me and you want to get away or something, just break in if you can. I can usually hear you on that band. For now, good evening, and I hear Paul in there, K6 Whiskey India Sugar, so I'm going to bump the antenna back a little bit toward the Bay Area for Paul there.
I will...
I'm sorry, who was that?
On 6. So that will... that'll see me into my evening here, probably. K6MYC, KW6S, see you on 6.
Okay, see you on 6 in a few minutes, and let's see, Paul, up to you if you're copying. I'll try to peek on you, Paul. K6 Whiskey India Sugar, K6MYC, over.
Yeah, K6MYC from K6WY. Well, when you were speaking with Fred there about 5x5, but now you're about 5x6, so, and Fred had a very good signal into here also. He was also 5x5, so nothing wrong with Fred's signal. And good evening to you there, Fred, if you're still listening. So, how do you copy me now, Mike? K6WIS, over?
Yeah, no, you're good copy. Not booming in here as usual, but very Q5, Paul. I wiggled back and forth, but I'm peeking on you just exactly where I was peaked for Fred. So, interesting. The propagation is favoring that direction tonight. I had to bump it a little bit south to get better copy on Tom, and he was much weaker than he normally is. But maybe he didn't have the full power on tonight. I don't know. Anyway, you're sounding good, and I assume you have not heard from the boys in Clear Lake yet, right?
Oh, yeah, I was having problems with Clear Lake when I pointed due west. I was getting S9 plus noise, but I just managed to copy N1PPP through that Dave. So you can log Dave in N1PPP, but I don't know if Kent was underneath him or not, over.
Yeah, okay. Well, if N1PPP is in there, it's more than likely we will also hear Kent 160 KA60SX and N1PPP, just writing them in the log here. All right, very good. And of course, if you can do it, we'll look for you on 6 meters a little bit later. I'll be starting 6 meters pointed toward Nevada, so I won't be very far off of a heading for you. So we should be able to pick you up pretty quickly. In any case, let me see if you have anything further, and then we'll take a standby and see if anybody else is on in the Bay Area. It's been very, very slow start here this evening. K6 Whiskey India Sugar, Placerville, backscatter, K6MYC, pointing toward the Bay Area.
Roger, Mike. Yes, this is K6WIS. I'm pointed 210 degrees, which is like smack into the Bay Area or the south end, and I'm getting S3 noise from the Bay Area. And as soon as I go down to 200 degrees, where you're a better copy at 200, that S3 goes to S0 noise. So it's very sharp antenna response here to the noise that's coming from the west. So thanks for logging in N1PPP and also K606. 73 or K6WIS clear.
Okay.
Good signal down here.
Yeah, there you go, Fred.
Thank you, Fred.
Paul, did you copy Fred?
Roger, Roger. Yeah, nothing wrong with Fred's signal. 5x5, just as strong as you are, Mike.
Okay.
Tonight, Paul. Anyway, I'll say 7-3. Mike wants to continue running the net, so thanks for the contact. And yeah, you're like an S7. Fantastic quality signal tonight, Paul. KD6S, okay.
Hey, thanks very much, Fred. 73, so KD6S okay, K6WIS clear.
Okay. I think I hear WA6OIB down the band working K6TSK. So we'll probably have them in here in a minute. All right, let's see. Who else do we have in the Bay Area? K6MYC Bozo Net.
WA6AXX, no traffic.
Okay, good evening, Ed. We missed you last night, but we assumed you were at a concert or equivalent.
Yeah, our grandson had a performance at school, and after that we went out to dinner. So, hey, Mikey, if I opened up with what I'm thinking about your COVID vaccine comments, you wouldn't be very happy with me, so I'll bite my tongue and just not go any further. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. K6MYC, WA6AXX.
Well, you can think whatever you want on that, Ed, but there's so many studies now that are just brutal. We would hope that it had worked, but they destroyed the vaccine in a way by not giving it a thorough check before they started to issue it and make people take it. And then the big mistake was mandating it in many cases. Anyway, a lot of people having medical problems with it these days, and it's you can find that in a lot of studies that are being done. Anyway, I don't know if you had that in mind when you made that comment or something else, but I'll listen for a comment if you want to make one, Homer. Nope.
Yeah, just that I don't think you're doing anybody any service by anybody's well-being by service spreading what you're spreading. I really don't think it's appropriate, and it's not a matter of like what kind of cars we like, or you shouldn't buy this car or that car. It shit affects people's lives. So what you're saying is a bunch of bullshit, and it's really very disappointing. I wish you wouldn't spread it on the net.
Well, I don't think it's bullshit. I think it's accurate. I wouldn't have said it. And it's very, very much documented and backed up. So if you choose to believe something else, Ed, that's fine. But the government did a job on us, buddy. And if you think that the FDA and all the stuff that went on with the whole vaccination thing and the Pfizer business and all the rest of that was in your favor, and it wasn't money motivated. It was to try and save humanity. I'm sorry for you, over.
Okay, well, this is ham radio, so we'll get back to ham radio. Strong signal, and let's see, I heard Paul, and I hear K6WS, KW6S. Kind of weak, but I hear him in there. And otherwise, of course, Fred and stuff. So I haven't heard Jim. You heard either, Jim?
Well, we'll find out if they're in there.
All those big, powerful stations just talk right over the top of me. But I'm here, W6PQL.
Okay, good evening, Jim. Go ahead and check. I don't know. I don't think KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie has 222, does he?
No, he doesn't have that band. He's got most of the rest of them, but not this one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So sometimes I can hear him, and sometimes I can't. He's been really, really strong on 2 meters, but he didn't seem to show up yesterday. I never heard him at all, so I don't think he was home or able to get on. Anyway, good to hear you, and we'll be looking for you on 6 perhaps later. We'll be starting in Nevada for 6 and coming your way counterclockwise from 6 down to from Nevada down to Sacramento, down to Oakley, and then into the Bay Area, and then down south. We've lost the guy that used to check in from Lake Isabella. Something has happened. He He has gone quiet. He told us that he would be intermittent operation, and it's slightly more than intermittent. He's stopped altogether, and we can't get any information. He's a very private person. He doesn't have any internet. He doesn't use the computer. He doesn't have anything. He doesn't even return phone calls now. So we haven't been able to. So there's very little reason on 6 meters, particularly, to turn south, because there's nobody down there that I can't hear in any direction. So there you go. W6PQL, thank you, and we'll see you on 6 perhaps later, and certainly on 1296 tomorrow. What else? Who else do we have in here this evening on in the Bay Area? K6MYC Bozo Net.
226 is here.
Okay. And did you work Ralph down below?
Yes, 03 was there.
Okay. Thank you. You want to say hello to Jim here?
Yeah, if you can copy me. Hi, Jim. W6PQL on the gang, WA60IB, over.
I can. We don't have much propagation right now, but you're above the noise, and good evening to you. Hope all's well over there. Over.
Oh, apparently you've lost propagation to Jim.
Sure did. I don't copy him at all.
Okay, came back to you. He's hearing you.
I heard a couple of words, but that was it. So propagation's not good tonight.
Yeah, okay. Well, he said you were not strong, but you were readable, so who knows. Anyway, Ken says, good evening, Jim. So he's not hearing you at the moment.
I can hear you, Ken. YB, KD6, that's okay. New signal.
Yeah, did you hear that, Ken? KD6SOK, Fred called you.
Yeah, I'm not hearing either one of those guys. Just a word here and there, and that's it. I don't know what that's all about. Okay, anyways, 10-3, KD6. Sorry to butt in, Mike. All right, I'm out of here.
Oh, no, we like those kind of butt-ins. That's good information, Fred. And for some reason, Ken's not copying, but maybe he's got some noise that he's not aware of there. Normally, he's pretty quiet over there, but every now and then he gets clobbered. So, anyway, you're copying, and Fred, how much power? You're running about 600, aren't you, Fred, Ken?
Yeah, I just noticed the noise level is up a little bit. It's up to S4, sometimes peaking to 5, and that's about where they hang out. Yeah, I'm running, what is it, a little over 400.
But you're stronger now.
Did you copy that?
Negative.
Right again, Jim, give him a longer call. Maybe he's off axis slightly or something.
Well, it's okay. If he's got noise, then that certainly explains everything. By the way, I listened to the live stream last night when I was making those audio changes, and the audio changes that I made, putting more treble in there, made it sound a lot better. I know you probably can't hear that with your hearing aids. It probably filters out some of that, but it did make an improvement. So it was good to have the live stream for that. It eliminates a lot, lets you hear a lot of opinion. Not that yours is bad, but you're somewhat impaired by I think by your hearing aids. But to hear it come over the live stream really is helpful. So that's a really neat tool. K6MYC W6PQL, and I'll be going up frequency to get Santa Barbara.
Okay, let us know on 6 meters or later if you get Santa Barbara there. Thanks for that. I'm glad you made use of the Lime stream. I'm sure Aaron copied that, and he'd be happy to hear that. So that's good. Okay, and good evening to you, Ken. Thanks for working Ralph down there. I got him logged in here as well. I haven't heard anybody else than you out of the San Joaquin Valley yet, though.
Well, I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, Ralph was actually pretty good, so I'm surprised I'm not hearing that. Of course, like I said, I do see a little bit of noise out of the west, so maybe that's the problem.
Could be. Anyway, I'm nibbling away at dinner here while we talk. All right, let's see. If there's anybody else in the Bay Area, K6KLY, KB6BA, anybody else before we slide on, K6MYC.
Yeah, I got my procedure done today, so I'm much better.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear you. I guess that's why we didn't hear you in the later part of the net last night. You probably went to bed.
Yeah, I haven't been able to go to bed for a week. I've been sleeping in a chair because I got that thing hanging off of me and I can't lay down.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, hopefully that's all taken care of now.
Yeah, it's all gone and I'm feeling pretty good. The only thing I've got going right now is a little antibiotic, so I don't have any pain, so I'm really great.
Yeah, good deal. I'm glad everything worked out. And I don't know what it was, what kind of operation, but that's your business. All right.
No big deal. It was a stone in the kidney, in the bladder. Don't know how it got in there without me knowing about it, but there was a huge stone in the bladder that would never pass, so they had to go in and blast it out with a laser beam.
Oh boy. Okay. I know you've had that problem every now and then, but you were taking stone free for a while, and I guess that isn't quite enough to keep it under control, huh?
Well, I don't know. It's very strange. He doesn't know what's going on either, because to get from the kidney down to the bladder, it had to go to the ureter, and that is extremely painful. And I never had any pain, so either that or there was some backaches a long time ago that I didn't attribute to that, and the stone's been in there that long. That could be also when it finally moved to the point where it was blocking the output, and that's when all heck broke loose.
Yeah, is there any, I don't know how a kidney stone is formed or whatever. Is there any chance it could enlarge once it's in the bladder?
I think so, yeah. It starts with oxalic acid and then other minerals attached to it, and it gets to be huge.
Oh, boy. Okay, well, I'm glad you're over that and getting back in the swing of things here. So that's good news. All righty. Let's see, one more call for the Bay Area, then we move over toward Oakley and see if we can hear anybody up that way. K6MYC Bozo Net. Bay Area, anybody else? How about WB6JNN? Awful quiet from Jim. Is anybody hearing anybody up there that I'm not hearing? K6MYC Bozo Net 222. Okay, nobody else. Let's go to Oakley.
Ooh, it's real quiet up that direction, so maybe I can hear somebody now.
Well, maybe so. Let's see if Ken is in there. How about it, Ken? N6RO, N6 Radio Oscar, K6MYC. Are you around tonight?
Up there, Ken. Yep, you've got a great signal here. I couldn't hear anybody in the Bay Area, but I sure hear you.
Oh, that's good. I'm pointed down your way.
Yeah, it's funny because you're pretty thin here. I mean, you're good, but you're not your bodacious self. Over.
Yeah, I'm like 8 or a couple of units down from normal.
From Ken? Couple less units below Ken, am I?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I think it's weird propagation because I swung back and forth on you, but I've got the peak on you, but there's just no signal strength.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's away the bands. The cooking room.
Okay. Well, we'll catch you in a few minutes on 6. Ken, good to hear you. N6RO, K6MYC. Okay, up to Sacramento. Here we are. How about you, Darren? KJ6KFB, KJ6KFB, K6MYC. I'll copy, Darren. Okay, I do not hear Darren. How about you, Bill? Let me come up a little bit further for you. It should be pretty close. KO6KD, I should say, K6MYC. KO6 K06KD, K6MYC. Nothing heard from Bill either. But anybody in the area, I wonder if you can hear me, Paul, K6MYC to K6WIS. Are you still listening here? Okay, let's try it again. K06KD, K06KD. I'm rocking the antenna back and forth. K06KD, K6MYC. K06KD, K6MYC. I'm still making power. You want to give a call since maybe I've got a loss of propagation on the valley floor there, Ken, over?
Yeah, oh boy, let's see. I'm a little bit behind the maple here. Let me get up there. K06KD, K06KD. Mr. Bill, WA60IB and K6MIC. Over. K06KD, K06KD. Are you there tonight, Bill? WA60IB and K6MYC. Over. Nada.
Nothing. Okay. Well, let's go to Nevada. I talked to Larry last night. He said he would be here. I also talked to Daniel. Daniel said he was ready to go on 222, so.
272 KE7UQL, over.
Yeah, there he is, KE7UQL. Good evening, Daniel. I don't think I'm quite on you yet. My rotator is doing some funny things. It's just on the verge of not working. Not sure why that is. So, every now and then it doesn't go and it gives me an error message. So either the wind is blowing, maybe that's what it is, or something else. Anyway, good to hear you. And thanks for 272. Let's see if Ken's copying you. Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, good evening, Daniel. WA60IB. Yeah, you're a good copy here tonight. Roger, Ken. Yes, you're solid here as well. You're sounding good tonight. KE7UQL, go ahead. Yep, you're about an S6, and the noise is almost nil, so you're way out of the noise. You sound great. A little wobbly. That's a little different. You got a little fast flutter, but we hear that every once in a while on here, so that's not unusual. But you're Q5 copy, no problem at all. KE7UQL, WA60IB. Roger. It helps when I get right on your frequency. If I'm not right on the frequency, then I don't quite get all the power out to you, and the clarity just isn't there. The local oscillator and my transverter, it's kind of drifty, over. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, well, you're getting plenty of power because you're sounding great. So, anyway, thank you very much and have a great evening. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay. I was listening to talking to Judy for just a second here. I missed the comments. But good signal. You peaked up quite nicely that time, Fred. KD6S, KE7UQL, K6MYC. Go ahead, Daniel.
Roger. I was complaining to Ken about my drifty local oscillator in this transverter. It kind of wanders, always drifting up the band, over. Well, mine is too, as you know. I keep going up and up, don't I, Mike?
Yeah, well, it's not bad. I haven't been bothering to even notice it, Ken.
Well, I keep zero beating you, that's why.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure you keep zeroing. All right. Well, I'm not having any trouble with either one of you. Have you heard Larry yet tonight, Larry? Daniel?
Negative. All I've heard is you folks calling people, over.
Okay. Well, Larry said he would be in here, so let's see if he's there. We're just about on the right time schedule to get him and then go over to 6 meters. N7 Whiskey Tango, N7WT. N7WT, N7 Whiskey Tango, K6MYC calling and standing by. I don't hear him. You want to give it a try, Ken?
N7WT, N7WT. Hello, Mr. Larry, WA60IB and K6MYC. Over. I thought I heard a voice. Did you hear anything?
Hello?
N7WT, N7 Whiskey Tango. We're a little early for it. No, we're not. We're okay. N7WT, N7WT, WA60IB and K6MYC. Over.
Oh.
Nothing from here either. Yeah, we're on time.
Okay. Well, I'll say 73 is to you, Daniel. I've got a little bit of taco salad left in the bowl here to finish. I'll take about 5 minutes and then we'll go over on 6 meters. So if you hear Larry or whatever, you can tell him he'll be on 6. He knows that, of course. 73, Daniel, thanks very much for coming up here on 222. You're the only one up there tonight. Hi. I've only got 10 check-ins. Well, I guess I have 12 check-ins here. Very light night, very, very light night on 222 here.
Okay, Mike, thank you very much. WA60IB and K6MYC. I'm going to put you 73. This is KE7UQL, and we'll see you Wednesday night. Over.
Okay, same to you, Daniel. 73s. Have a good evening. And are we going to hear you? Probably not. Probably no copy, no transmission tomorrow on 1296, right?
No, 1296. We'll see you Wednesday on 144. Over.
Okay, we'll look for you on 2 meters on Wednesday then. Thanks very much, Daniel. Take care, and we'll see you on Wednesday. KE7UQL, K6MYC will be cleared. Good evening.
Daniel. Thanks, Ken. WA60IG, KE7UQL, 73. Adios.
Okay, I guess I'm going to just swing the antenna back to the Bay Area and let it sit and monitor in case anybody comes in late. There's a few people, WB6JNN, who's usually in here, it wasn't there for sure. So that's what I'll do, and then I'll see everybody over on 6. K6MYC going to 50.140 shortly.
Okay, I'll head over there now. WA60IB.
Hello, 1-2, WA6LOL.
Good evening, Dave. WA6LOL, KM6SRR.
Hey, Rob, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm not pointing at you really good. Let him come down a little bit.
Hello, Dave. WA60IB here.
Yeah, I can. Hey, I was listening to you guys on 222.1. I thought, hey, I could crank up my SDR receiver and hear those guys on a 2-meter antenna, and it worked pretty good.
Oh, so you did hear it?
Yeah, I heard you guys all right. I mean, it's not as loud as here, on the real, the proper antennas on the proper receivers, but I could hear you, yes.
Well, that's great. Yeah, glad to hear that. You betcha. You're kind of thin tonight. You got an app off or something?
Yeah, I heard you guys say you had like 12 check-ins or something there tonight.
Yeah, you're right in the noise. I've got a fairly high noise, and you're right in it, so you're kind of rough copy.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So, yeah, that was pretty fun to hear you guys up there on 220. But anyway, yeah. So, I guess Mike's headed down this way. And anyway, Rob, good to hear you. And, yeah, I have a
kind of a not too bad of a noise level. I have a power line that likes to get after me on 6 meters, but it's behaving itself tonight. So anyway, Rob, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine here. Just writing down everybody. Got you guys checked in there, and I say hi to Ken there. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm hearing you pretty good, and Ken's not. That's very unusual. Over.
What kind of noise
what did you say? It's very unusual that you're hearing me.
Oh, sorry, I stepped on you there, Larry. I mean, Dave. Rob, what kind of noise level do you have on your estimator?
Nothing showing up, but it takes a lot for the S-meter to show anything. I hear some static, but not bad. Over.
Okay, yeah. I've got a 5 to 7 noise level here, so we're talking quite a bit of difference. So he's probably got the same strength, but it's I'm fighting noise and you're not. Sometimes it's good up there, and sometimes it's not. Like on 220, I had terrible noise towards the Bay Area. I couldn't hear BQL or any of the guys in the Bay Area. Just barely hear them. As soon as I turned it up north, the noise went away, and I was, if you copy Reno and everything. So it's interesting. 6 meters is just the opposite. I got noise up north.
Roger on that. I hear a Prentice leader whistle. Over.
Good evening, all. Have you all logged in? K6MYC.
We knew who that whistle was.
Hey, there's Whistler's mother.
Oh, Mike, sounds like your dinner is good.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the last of my taco salad down. You guys continue for a minute or two. I'll be in here and listening for anybody else that calls in, but I've got everybody so far logged in. You're allowed to hear Dave, so I don't think there's any issues with your system. It's just Ken may have some blockage there on 6.
Well, I got noise. I don't have any blockage, but I got a high noise level. By the way, just a cool note, Dave is listening to us on 220 with an SDR, so and he heard us okay, so that's nice.
Yeah, I heard that.
Well, yeah, I fired up this SDR receiver so that I could use it on EME moonbound stuff, and down at 144.12, and I thought, well, heck, I can go up to 220 with that. So I did, and there you guys were.
What do you got for an SDR? Which one is it?
Which SDR do you have, Dave?
I think he's checking there. Dave, did you copy them? Over.
Oh, there he is. He's down on 220. No.
That can't be right. He doesn't have 220 transmit.
I know, I'm kidding.
Hello, Dave. Where did you go?
He bumped the BFO and he's low on frequency, K6USY.
Yeah, I don't. If he doesn't come back up here, we won't talk to him. Ha ha.
He probably got a hot contact on moonbound, so that's the end of Dave for the night. Over.
I don't think so. I don't think the moon's up yet, is it?
Yeah, I'm just trying to be funny.
Talking to himself, so he'll figure it out eventually. Here, 694.
Good evening, Ben. How are you?
Doing pretty good here. I had to get out of jury duty here. I was told by some people that my age would knock me out, but they told me California doesn't have an age limit. So that didn't work, but I had some medical conditions that got me out of it.
Hey, I was talking away, and I had kicked the frequency knob, and I was down on 135 yakking away, and I wondered, where are those guys? Anyway, I'm back now.
Yeah, we knew you were down there, but we were not going to come down and get you.
I was lost.
Well, this way you learn from your mistakes. See, you figured it out yourself. See, now you're a better person.
I know. I learned to look at the frequency every once in a while.
Yeah, I did that last night on the net. I flipped. I was on. We're supposed to be checking in on 9.4 simplex and instead of the 3494 repeater, and I pushed the button to go off frequency for a second, and then when I came back, the memory kicked back in, so I was transmitting on the repeater when I should have been simplex, and I didn't look at the frequency. And when I finally did, I slapped my forehead.
Yeah, when you do something like that, then you got to play it off like you knew, like you meant to do that.
No, I freely admit it. I screwed up, you know. Everybody got a big kick out of it.
I heard that you got your procedure done, the stone thing. I was listening to you guys on 220, so anyway, sounds painful.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad I got it done, and I'm much better for it. I'm cleared out, and the pathway is now clear. So, hey, what we were asking earlier when you went away on your little trip there was what kind of SDR you're using. What is it?
Oh, yeah, that's where I answered you, and then I didn't hear any response. Yeah, it's an SDR Play, RSP-1A, so it's an earlier one, but it works really well, but they're kind of drifty. It doesn't have any kind of clock input to be able to stabilize it.
Okay, it's SDR Play. Is it RSP what? Which model?
RSP-1A, yeah. They're just $100, $125 or something. They're not really expensive. I had an RSP-DX, the RS Play, anyway. My tongue's getting all tangled up in my teeth here. Anyway, the RSP-DX, and then it's got like 3 antenna inputs and everything, and they're about $275, but I smoked the input on that thing. But this is the 1A. It's the only one I've got around here that I haven't smoked.
Okay, yeah, I've got the RSP-1. I don't know what the difference between the 1 and the 1A. I'm sure the 1A's got some improvements. But I've got an RSP-1. I'm looking at it. I've got it in my hand right now. I used to use it a little bit, but I'm thinking of putting it back in service. But do you know the difference between the 1 and the 1A?
I don't know the difference, but I know the 1 and the 1A are both similar in the respect that they have no clock input. So you're kind of like the old days, you know, when you're listening to the sideband, your right hand is on the frequency knob.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's just got the antenna input. You're right. There's nothing, no way to clock the thing, no reference. It's an internal reference, and oh well.
You know what I did with mine is I put some heat sink compound down on the concrete floor, and then I smashed the SDR receiver down on the heat sink compound, and then I covered it with some insulation, you know, like you put in the walls in your house, and then I put a piece of carpet over that. So it's pretty stable now. It's grounded at the earth temperature.
Well, that's that's a little bit extreme, isn't it?
Well, it's easier than clocking it.
Well, yeah, if you can't clock it, I would have just put it in a styrofoam box, you know, 4 inches thick on each side, and you play heck changing temperature in that thing.
Yeah, I guess anyway, I figured I'd just ground it to earth temperature, and it seems to be working better, but you know, it's not too bad until you get down on some of the digital modes that require more stability and stuff, then it gets, you know, it really, but I don't know. I'll probably end up getting a couple of SDR receivers, one for horizontal and one for vertical, and I want to have them both clocked the same so that the resulting output of both of them is the same phase, horizontal and vertical, the same phase, and then I'll be able to add them. And anyway, something I'm going to be doing here. So, but anyway, so this thing was just basically to kind of get up on the SDR receiver thing and get it working again in preparation for that. This won't be the receiver that I'll be using.
Yeah, very good, very good. Well, let's get back to net. Sorry, Mike, but we wanted to chat about the SDR. So I learned something. working anyway. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Dave, for the info. Appreciate that. I think I'll throw this thing back in service and play with it a little bit. It was fun when I played with it before, but I got a few things I want to do with it now. And you clicked on a couple of things that I want to try. So appreciate the help. A6MYC and the gang, WA60IB. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, well, no problem. I got a chance to finish my dinner. I have a question for you, Ken. Judy and I need to have some little handy-talkie type thing for communications around the property here. And I had a couple of them. I think I gave them away at the last ham club meeting. I don't know if even the ones I had were working. I can't remember whether they worked on CB band or what. What would you recommend? I would prefer to have two very low-cost handy-talkies that worked on 2 meters and or 432, so I could also have it on the big radio in the house monitoring. But what would you recommend, over?
Yeah, well, the both things are sure, or there's derivatives of those. I think I got a bunch of them here. Let me see if I can come up with a couple of them. Then you could each have one, and then, like you say, you could listen in the house too with a quote base station, over.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'd like to get something that, we could do personal radio. I think the CB band up on 455 or something is still functional. I don't know if they're selling equipment up there or not these days, but I'd rather have it on 2 meters or 432.
Yeah, up in the woods there, you got no problem. Of course, she'll have to join my class, technician class when I teach it next time. So we'll get her a license too.
Yep, absolutely. I think she's sort of open to that.
Yep. I'm sure she'll have a good tutor up there.
Well, I don't know about that, but okay. Hang on, guys. I'm going to have a word with Judy. I'll be back in a minute.
WB6GGY, Bozo 884.
Well, hello, Phil. 884. Nice to hear you. WA60IB.
You're doing fantastic job coming up this direction. I finally got the antenna up in the air on 6 here. It's up at about 55 feet, so we've got a little better chance of getting out to you. Go ahead.
Well, you're doing a good job. You're well above the noise, and that's what counts up here, or down here, I should say. Well, it's good to hear you. Anything new and exciting up there?
No, other than looks like spring is sprung, and it's been absolutely gorgeous up here.
Yep, same here. My orchard, orange orchard was very, very fragrant for a few weeks, and it's finally dropping its blossoms, and the oranges are coming on, and it's not as nice to smell, but it sure looks pretty.
There you go. Well, it'll even look better when the fruit starts to grow.
Righto. Okay, well, great. Good to hear you. Rob, are you copying Phil up there?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Phil? WB6GGY. This is Kilo Mike 6, Sierra Romeo.
Sierra Romeo. Fantastic signal. Great. You're well over 10 over 9, so doing a great job.
Roger, I'm getting you about S9 there, so it's good that you came up. I was hearing you a little bit down close to the noise earlier, so good copy there. Thanks for being there, over.
Good evening, Phil.
Good evening. Boy, you're sounding good there, Mike. So, okay, I'll be on the side, WB6GGY.
Let's say 884, Phil.
Bozo 884.
Gotcha.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, for some reason I had a brain fart. It just wouldn't come up at first.
W6BBS 72.
Okay.
It's that taco salad.
What was that, the taco salad?
Yeah, for the brain fart.
Yeah. Good evening, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, Frank.
You too, Rob. You're part of everybody.
Thank you.
How's the power going up there?
Sun comes up, fills up the batteries. Sun goes down, I use the batteries. It's all working just fine.
Man, don't you just love it when a plan comes to fruition?
Oh, we make jokes all the time. You know, we're taking a shower. Where'd all this water come from? We got it from the sun. You know, it just every little thing. We're running the washing machine. You know, look at this. We're using the sun to wash and dry our clothes, and just it's absolutely fantastic. And now that we're back out of the wintertime stuff, you know, the cloudiness, and although recently I was getting through pretty good anyways, but now with these days like this, even with like the clouds we've had here recently, I'm 100% charged every day, and we can run the dryer 2 or 3 loads during the day if Jen wants to, and everything else, and we still don't run out overnight, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, nice to feel self-sufficient, you know, and thumb your nose at some company that we all love to pay to.
You know, it gets you in a funny state of mind sometimes, Ken. I know my well, you know, after my experiences with it last year, it's not that good. It's good right now. It's a good 7-8 gallon a minute well right now, but you know, by the end of summer, it'll be down between 1/4 and 1/2 gallon a minute. And so, and I stressed it pretty hard last year. I was doing a lot of building up here, a lot of dirt construction, so I used a lot of water, like putting the dam in and whatnot and things like that. And so I'm in a different mode this year. It's conserve the water with, you know, the 2,500 gallon tank stays full. And that would last Jen and I probably a week. Well, it's going to drop now because I now have all the drippers running again on our fruit trees and stuff. But anyways, you find yourself looking down the hill and the pump shut off because the tank is full, and you're watching that solar panel, and you know there's all that energy there. You just feel like you have to pump some water and do something with it, man, because it's free. And you know, but it's very nice, and I'm getting kind of comfortable with it, and I'm liking it, Ken. Over.
You mean you're not paying your sun tax? It's not free. You got to pay tax to have the sun work for you.
Hey, that's coming if Newsom has anything to say about it.
God help us.
Listen, if you're going to start your liberal nonsense with me, Michael B., I'll just shut the radio off. Over.
Were you listening on 222?
No. But your comment there about paying taxes, so that's why my comment. If you're going to start your liberal bull with me, I'll turn the radio off. Over.
Yeah, well, I got reamed up on on 220 for talking about COVID and mentioning that COVID was the demise of MFJ. Martin Chu said it himself in his letter, so I don't know why I raised such a storm, but I did add a little bit to it, saying that he was being very hard on his employees, and it's cost him the business now because he forced everybody to take the shot, and now they're he's having a lot of trouble with the people working there not showing up because they're sick, and other problems of lack of attendance and attention, and a lot of stuff like that. We've heard about that from the horse's mouth, so but Ed took umbrance with that.
Yeah, I read it too, and my goodness, he pretty well spelled it out.
And well, Ed said it was all bullshit.
Well, I got that email too, and he said that he hadn't recovered from the COVID situation, KM6SR.
Word with him.
I'm sorry, what was that, Ken?
If he's at Dayton for, if they're still going to try and make a showing at Dayton, I'll have a word for him on your behalf.
Oh, okay.
We'll get the skinny.
Yes, okay. Let's do that. I think W6LG pretty much got the skinny, and he passed it on to the boy, Billy and Bob up in Olympia as well. But he had been talking apparently with the inside story of the inside group. I know Martin. I haven't talked to Martin very often over the years, but we know each other. He came one time to my plant when he was interested in perhaps buying the property or buying the M Squared business. But of course, he didn't want to pay anywhere near what it was even remotely worth. We didn't have anything else to say, but I've always been okay with Martin. He's a good guy. He tries to do a good job, and I think he's relatively honest. Unfortunately, he got hooked on the government BS that you must mandate, everybody must take the vaccination, and that's what killed him.
Yeah, and probably some of his people, too. Yeah. Okay, well, let's see. I don't know where we're at, but let's continue.
Let's continue. I'm looking for other check-ins. We got, let's see, we got Ben in here, and we got Rob in here. We got Frank in here. We got Ken in here. We had LOL in here. We should have Larry. I'm beaming right at Larry. Where are you? N7 Whiskey Tango. Where are you?
776.
Who is it?
776 KO680.
Oh, okay. We missed you on 220. Did you not hear us, or were you sick?
No, I had the radio on. You remember my radio does not transmit, but it has just enough power on the ICOM that it will go through the transmitter and get 120 left out.
Oh boy, I'm having trouble with you on 6. Have you got the Yaesu on this evening?
Who are you talking with, Mike? I don't hear him at all.
I've lost you, Bill. As best I can in your direction. Let's see if we can hear you now. KO6KD, K6MYC. Boy, I got about S3 noise here from my friendly inverter fellow down the street. Man, it's bad tonight.
Well, mine's up to S7, almost S8.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's... see, Bill's had a problem with his ICOM. He had a 200-watt ICOM, and he's not making any power with it, and that's why he probably didn't show up on 222. He said he could hear us, but he can't transmit. And because it doesn't make enough power for the transverter. So anyway, but I don't know what he's doing here. He has a Yaesu. I think he said it was a Yaesu 7000 or Yaesu 2000 or something that he was trying to press into service. It only has 100 watts output, but I should hear him easily with 100 watts. But I don't know if he's got that in service yet. Is there anybody up there in Sacramento that can get on and give us a signal? How about you, John? KR6MR, K6MYC.
JKN and Gilroy's on frequency.
Who is?
Whiskey Alpha 6 Juliet Kilowatt November. Gilroy.
Okay, WA6JKN, is that who I'm listening to?
QSL.
Okay, give me a Bozo number and a name. Where are you?
Yeah, this is 1053, and the name's Kevin, Kilowatt Echo Victor India November.
Okay, give me the call again, Kevin. Thank you.
Whiskey Alpha 6, Juliet, Kilowatt November.
Oh, okay, you're over in Gilroy, or San Martin, aren't you?
Yeah, down here in Gilroy.
Yeah, now I know who you are. Okay, Kevin, sorry about that. You're way out of where I'm pointing, though. I'm pointing toward the north, toward Sacramento, but you're doing well over here. And good evening to you. Thanks for checking in. It's been a couple of weeks, and that's kind of lost track of you there. But I got it all now. It just took a minute to run the call around in my head a couple of times. And I said, I know the call. Let me see. Oh, okay, now I know. Okay, good to hear you. What's new over there?
Well, we just returned from Ogden, Utah. Attended my granddaughter's graduation from Weaver State University, and we just arrived back home at the home QTH last night.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you got had a good time with the graduation, and you got people going through college and getting out without too much trouble. Hopefully, you didn't cost $50,000 a year to send her there.
No, it's about, my other granddaughter, it's about, I think it's somewhere around $60,000 or $65,000 a year or something like that, down there at Pepperdine. Weaver State is probably about half that amount.
Yeah, boy, those are brutal numbers.
It sure is, and of course, it's just getting more expensive every semester.
Yep. Okay, well, listen, good to hear you. I hope I'm pointed where I think I am here. My readout says 330 degrees, but I'm not hearing John. I don't know whether John said he was going to be here tonight or not. I remember something about he said he wouldn't be back until Wednesday or something. KR6MR, John, are you there? How about K6 Whiskey India Sugar? Paul, are you copying me here? Anybody in Sacramento copy K6MYC, Bozo Net? That station talking on the frequency. This is Mike, K6MYC.
Yeah, Mike, that is KR6MR, and he's coming in about S5 to me right now, over.
Okay, he's just barely readable about this horrible noise. Boy, this noise is terrible tonight, Frank.
Try again, I'll try and listen.
Yeah, Roger that. Well, he's there and check in. Good evening, John. Is anybody else up your way wanting to check in? Mike is having a lot of noise tonight.
Double with him, Frank.
KR6MR, Bozo 759.
That's John's number, 759.
In Saratoga. Where are you located and how much power are you running? What kind of antenna?
John's talking to someone else right now.
Talking to Ed.
Oh, I'm not sure where, let's see, I think it was pointing at Sacramento, actually. Yeah, so KR6MRWA6AXX. Yeah, Mikey, KR6MR is in Meadow Vista near Auburn. He's running about 700 watts into a 7-element long antenna, long beam antenna. And let's see, I don't think he's hearing you right now, but he was hearing you earlier. Let me turn it over to Mikey, K6MYC, WA6AXX.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe I've got something that's happened with the antenna, but I know John. I've been talking to him for years here. I worked him through all his different setups and stuff, and we don't normally have this problem. But I have a feeling that maybe the antenna's not pointed right. So maybe I should have you chat with him one more time, have him make a transmission, and I'm going to swing more and more to the north, because you're coming in awfully good for being in the Bay Area, and I should not be hearing you that well. So maybe the antenna's screwed up here, or I've lost calibration. Ed, over.
Okay, very good. KR6MR WA6AXX. I think your name is John, and yeah, so give us long transmission. Mikey is going to try to turn his antenna, and he says he's talking to you forever. And so something may be wrong with antenna locator indicator.
Hey, Mike, was that for Ed or for Frank? Over.
Transmission, KR6MR WA6AXX.
Yeah, copy that. K6MYC in the group. This is Kilo Romeo 6 Mike Romeo. KR6MR Bozo 759. See if you can get your beam locked on me. Move your beam around, Mike. Over.
Yeah, I got you now, John. I'm pointing due north according to the readout. So I'm going to take a moment or two and recalibrate the antenna, because I'm pointing north according to the readout. So something's happened here, and I don't know what's caused this, but I'll be back. We got you checked in, and I've got Bill checked in, but I couldn't copy Bill obviously for the same reason. I was not pointed at Bill. So even though he's running a little lower power than normal, I should have been able to hear him, and he was just buried in the noise. We got you, and thank you for the help, Ed. Apparently I'm just going to let the antenna controller calibrate itself here, but it takes about a minute and a half to do that. I'll be clear, but I'll be monitoring here. K6MYC, go ahead, John.
Yeah, roger, Mike. I have an issue with my internal rotor system as well. 6 meters gets into my indicator, and it fluctuates a sideband signal, and it'll vary about 30 degrees over. What do you do to calibrate?
Hey, good evening, John. KR6MR and 6RZJ while he's calibrating. Just wanted to say hi.
Good evening, N6RZJ. Nice to hear you, KR6MR.
Hi, Bill. N6RZJ.
I hear you in course gold, Bill, barely, but you're in there. KO6KD, W6BBS.
Hey, Bill, somebody in course gold said they could hear you weak, but they could barely hear you.
Yeah, it's W6BBS Frank, you can tell him. He's barely readable to me, so no wonder he's not hearing me, over. you can tell him I copied all that, and good evening, and are you back, Mikey? We've been playing around waiting for you.
Yeah, well, I'm back, and I'm pointed up that way, and I can hear him talking, but he's buried in the noise. I don't think, I've recaled everything, and it came back and did a count perfectly. So I could be off a few degrees, but not enough that I wouldn't be able to hear Bill. So I think it's just this terrible noise, Frank.
Yeah, Roger, I have virtually hardly any noise at all up here tonight. Just, it's really quiet. And Bill wasn't moving my S meter at all. John was doing good, but Bill wasn't moving it at all. And, I heard almost everything he said. Every once in a while I might lose a word, but I basically could hear most of what he was saying, but he's very, very weak.
Ask him what radio he's using. He has a Yaesu backup for the one that's the icon that's failed. Ask him what he's doing and how much power.
Yeah, that's what he's got, and I think he said 200 watts.
No, he doesn't have 200. He had 200 watts. The Yaesu only makes 100.
Mikey's on the 857 over the rig right now.
He's what right now, Frank?
He's on the 857 now.
Oh, a different radio. You didn't tell me about the 857.
Rig right now, and it's only showing 35 watts. Over.
Oh, 35 watts on the 857. Now, that's sick, too. It should be making 100.
Yeah, he said it was doing 100 before he whistled it up, and but it dropped off. He's not sure what's wrong with it, and apparently the icon was split. Over.
Yeah, well, maybe he's got an antenna problem, but I don't think so. Okay, well, I can tell he's in there. I'm having trouble copying you now because I went north, but apparently the calibration is pretty close because I've lost you now. I hear you now, Bill. Frank, I need a relay. He's quite loud, but the noise is just chewing up his audio.
I've lost him, Mike. I hear a murmur now and again, and that's it.
Oh, now I got him. Okay. Just bad conditions, Bill.
But he just can't get any audio drive out of it tonight. Over.
Did you copy that, Mike?
Well, I thought it was you talking. I didn't copy it. Who said that?
This is Dan, N6RZJ, Bozo 939. Over.
Oh, good signal from you, Dan. I didn't expect you here on 6 meters. N6RZJ, K6NYC. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. I can barely hear Bill, but trying to relay when I can, but sometimes you guys are talking at the same time. But, he said he's on the 857 and it's not working, and neither is the icon. Over.
I wonder why he's not using the Yaesu that he has.
I think he is using the Yaesu. I think it's an 857. Bill, is that correct?
I'm on an 857.
Yeah, Roger, I copied that, Bill. Mikey said he's swapping out the radio, but there's a lot of cables, and it's just too darn much work. Over.
Yeah, Roger, I understand. Okay. Well, I thought I had it right. I knew, I got thinking, I knew he told me he had an 857, but he didn't like it at all. But it apparently isn't working right either. Boy, oh boy. Okay, time to send some radios to the shop for repair. Anyway, fine, Bill, we got most of it. I'm getting bits and pieces, and if I didn't have this noise, when I turn off this direction, the noise goes away, and then I could hear everybody talking in the background except you. I could hear all the stations saying they were copying an outlet and stuff like that, but I when I come back toward you, the noise builds up and it just covers you. It's not your fault tonight. It's terrible. I got the blanker on and it's not even taking half of it. The noise is starting to go away. Intermittent now, so it's coming and going, so it's just about on its last legs here. All right, well listen, Bill, we'll see you on maybe on 40 tomorrow for a few minutes on 40 meters. If not, we'll see you on 1290. No, we won't see you on 1296. We'll see you on Wednesday in the morning on Wednesday, hopefully. 7-3 Bill, KO6KD, thanks for trying. I know you'll have everything working better by Wednesday. KO6KD, and Dan, thank you very much for helping out there. N6R's J to take it, K6MYC.
Okay, thanks, Mikey. Bill went ahead and signed off. He's frustrated not getting anything to work tonight. Yeah, I'm surprised to be here too, but just happened to be at home tonight and thought I would check in for a change. Over.
Yeah, well, very good. I'm off of you a little bit now, so the signal's down, but I got rid of the noise. Boy, oh boy. All right, well, good, Dan. Thanks for taking an exceptional night. We're getting some exceptional check-ins this evening. I also had Gilroy in here, which I haven't heard very often here. W6JKN over there in Gilroy. Anyway, thanks much, and we'll move toward N6RO and see what else we can find. Thanks much, Dan. N6RZJ, K6MYC. How about WA6LOL? How about WB6GGY? You still in here, Phil? I guess Phil was in earlier.
Yes, he was.
Okay, I'm going to Oakley for N6RO. Here we go.
Hey, Mike, did you get any of the Nevada guys, KM6SRR?
Well, not on this band. I heard nobody up there. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I wasn't turned right, but I thought everybody else should have heard him if they were on. Over. There's only one. Would it be Larry? Richard's out of town.
Okay, I didn't know about Larry's studies. He had 6 also.
If I can get N6RO, I should say, N6 Radio Oscar, K6MYC. Can somebody else call N6RO? Frank, call him, would you?
N6RO, N6RO, W6BBS, and K6MYC for the Bozo Net calling. Over. Nary a peep, Mike.
Yeah, I don't hear him either. Okay, well then we'll go right into the Bay Area. In the Bay Area, I've already got W6JKN and WA6AXX, but maybe there's some others. Let's see here. There we are. Whoops, overshot. Go back a little bit here. I can probably peek on these signals and I'll know if I'm right or wrong here. I could be off by 10 or 15 degrees.
KW6S. That was terrible. All brr, brr, brr. It sounded bad.
WB6J,
I got you, Dane, and I hear KW6S also. Stand by a second, Dane. KW6S, good signal from you, Tom, over.
K6MYC, KW6S. Yeah, I'm hanging in here and just about ready to go for a glass of wine, but you worked into the Bay Area. Yeah, well, I'm going to be here tomorrow night on 1296 in good shape, I think. And otherwise, nothing new since an hour ago.
Okay.
NYC KW6S.
Very good, very good. We'll let you go. I wonder if Lee is in here tonight. KB6LEE. Lee, are you here?
Roger, roger. KB6LEE. I'm here.
Go ahead and take a transmission and tell us where you're standing on the other stuff.
Oh, actually, I've been a radio slacker. I haven't really done too much. I did try to find the beacon a couple of times, but I didn't really have a long time to spend on it, so that's where I stand right now. And otherwise, yeah, just did a little bit of work on HF last night, hit Puerto Rico, Hawaii, and the Ukraine. So all within like about 45 minutes of each other. So that was pretty interesting. But otherwise, that's what I'm doing. KB6LEE, back to you.
Yeah, you probably worked, did you get the name of the guy in Ukraine you worked? Probably was Victor.
Oh, I think it was Victor. I don't have it right in front of me now, but I think that's what it was.
Yeah, okay. I've never met Victor, but he's using an old radio of mine. I sold him many years ago. I sold him a broken TS930, and he repaired it, and it's been working good for him ever since. So every time I get on, he's, "Oh, Mike, my friend, was I still using your TS930?" Yeah, Victor. We've been working Victor for about 10 or 15 years. He's got a good station, and I don't know where he lives, but he must be out of the fray there, over.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah, he's not in harm's way. That's definitely, hopefully that's what's going on for him. So, yeah, and he was real strong, and apparently I was getting back to him pretty strong, too. So I was really pleased with that, just on my little cobweb antenna here. So, yeah, otherwise, I'll turn it back to you, Mike. Good to hear you, and, yeah. KB6LEE, back to net.
Okay, thanks, Lee. Good to hear you. And we'll look forward to hearing you on Wednesday on 2 meters again. KB6 Lima Echo. Could you give me your Bozo number? I've got a mental block.
Countdown Bozo, 10, 9, 8.
Yeah, I knew it was one of those. Well, there's a 1090. And, of course, that's the IRS number, so I get confused by which one is which, over.
Okay. Well, I'm 1098. So 73, Mike. KB6LEE.
73, Lee. Okay, back into the Bay Area a little bit here. I'm sort of in the Bay Area already here. I don't know if I'm quite pointed right, but close enough. Anyway, Bay Area. Anybody else in the Bay Area on 6 meters? How about you, Jim?
KB6 WFC.
KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie. Got you, Mike. We missed you the other night, I think, on 2 meters or something. But good to hear you tonight on 6 here. KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, K6MYC, over.
K6MYC, KB6WFC. Yeah, I was down on 2 meters last night. Went up to dinner with the wife. But I plan to be on tomorrow night, so hope to see you then. Back to you, Mike, KB6WFC.
Yeah, Roger, Mike. Very good. Well, you always got to talk to the wife every now and then. So that was a worthwhile effort, I'm sure. Anyway, 7-3 for tonight. And boy, I still got noise in your direction. It's really annoying to listen to this stuff. I got good copy on you, but it's just marginal because of the terrible noise from this solar guy that's a quarter mile away from me here. My antennas look right at him when I pointed your way. So there you are. Anyway, good evening, and we're listening for Jim, W6BQL, who should have worked down south to Santa Barbara tonight, but I don't know whether he did or not, so we'll see. I'm also haven't heard WB6JNN or some of the others, so I don't know who all is in here. We'll take another standby. Bay Area, Bozo Net, K6MYC.
Okay, Mike, we're in a little bit of a fade right now. This is W6PQL, and it did work, Steve. Worked him on sideband, and good copy, but it didn't last very long. We just K6MYC, W6PQL.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the right heading for you. I lost calibration on this controller for some reason. I had to recal, but the calibrate isn't exactly dead nuts. Where I clamped the antenna on the mast wasn't exactly right, so it's off a little bit, and I'm trying to find a peak. But this, it's hard to find peaks on 6 meters. The antenna is only 9 elements, so it's not very sharp. Okay, on working Santa Barbara. Thanks for that. I got 52 in the log. Thanks, Jim. And would you take a standby and see if there's anybody else? I don't know if I can hear Jim, JNN, or whatever. I did not hear him on 222 either.
Okay, Jim, WP6JNN, are you here on 6 meters? I don't hear him, Mike, so he's probably not here.
Okay, very good. Well, I moved the antenna back up on you all, but I guess I was a little bit south of you. This should be better. Yeah, 7.3. If you're listening to the stream, you can know what I'm dealing with. The stream has got to be sounding terrible tonight. Anyway, 7.3's guys, K6MYC. One last call into the Bay Area Bozo Net, K6MYC.
Yeah, WA6AXX with a quick question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so regarding MFJ in the ham radio business, so I have the letter in front of me, and it says COVID changed everything in businesses, including ours. It was the hardest hit that we have ever had, and we never fully recovered. And then he says, I turned 80 this year and wants to spend more time with his family. So the letter doesn't say anything beyond that. And so you extrapolated beyond that to relating to COVID vaccine mandates and employees not performing well as a result of the vaccine. So just curious, really genuinely curious, so where does that information come from?
Well, it did come from a valid source that I was talking to either the horse's mouth or somebody that knows the business. So it was a valid comment. And I don't know if that's not going to be publicized anywhere, of course, but we're seeing it. We're seeing it in his business, and we're seeing it in a lot of other businesses. And so anyway, that's where it came from. I didn't make it up. It came to me from another source. Over.
No, I understand. No, I don't think you made it up. But just curious where information comes from. I subscribe to a bunch of ham radio email reflectors and stuff, and so there's been a lot of discussion about MFJ, and it has poor quality control and stuff, and the business is down, and a lot of comment about how since FT8 is so popular now that people don't need very sophisticated stations anymore. So, not a lot of market for some of the aftermarket equipment that maybe there used to be. But nothing about COVID and employees and vaccines and stuff. So, who did you hear it from? Who exactly did you hear it from? I'm really curious.
Well, let me do this. I won't tell you today, but I'll tell you in the future because I got it third hand, but I trust the source. Both sources that I got it from, but I got it third hand. So I best talk to the primary source for sure, but I have no doubt that that's what was going on because he was having he's always had poor quality control and other things, but now he was having any number of other problems. He owns 4 other businesses, He owns Cushcraft, he owns High Gain, he owns Ameritron, And certainly in parts of the Ameritron business, that's been going strong in terms of the solid-state stuff that they make. So there really isn't any excuse for that part of the business not to be going good. He also owns MF Mirage, and VHF amplifiers are still being used, and there's a lot of people still buying. The part of that problem is that there's so much stuff on the market, Ed, that's used because of people passing away. The used and the estate sale market has just been huge. A lot of guys are picking up very nice bargains on all that, which you would be happy to do, of course, but that cuts into a business's operation. But with those 4 companies properly managed, there's no way he should be folding over.
Okay, no, I understand. Yeah, and also Vectronics. Another one of his sister companies is Vectronics. Well, when it comes to antennas, I buy all my antennas new from M Squared, so that's what I do. But yeah. Anyway, so if I may bug you in a couple days, remind you if cause I'm really curious if you check in if it's okay to reveal the name of the person that got the information, because really curious. To be honest, I don't believe it, and third-hand information may not be super reliable, but my mind is open and be happy to change my mind if I'm wrong. So K6MYC, WA6AX.
Okay, very good, Ed. Thank you. Well, I may not know until Wednesday because the gentleman that I got it from that can feed and go back down the chain can't communicate. He's a PhD, and he's got clients or customers or patients, if you will. On Tuesday, he's semi-retired, but he has still got people that he sees on Tuesdays only. So he doesn't usually get on and chat, but I'll see him on Wednesday. In the meantime, I'll see if I can get a hold of the primary source myself by listening. He's on the bands quite regularly, but I just haven't been on 20 enough to catch him. He's on 20 almost every day. So I'll see if I can catch him, and maybe I can even call him on the phone. I can call my friend in Africa that has his personal phone number, and maybe I'll call it that way, and see what else we can turn up. So and maybe we can come up with something that's not only verbal but but I don't think MFJ would want to admit to that, of course. So you can imagine why. Over.
Well, I don't know why they wouldn't, but anyway, I'll just wait to hear. So, sorry I used profanity earlier. I apologize for that. It wasn't appropriate, but I'll leave it at that. Have a good evening, and K6MYC, WA6AX.
Okay, yeah, no problem. This is just, these differences of opinion and information sources are going to come up. I don't know whether you've caught it. You know what Telegram is, right?
Yes, I do.
You might want to watch Tucker Carlson's interview with the founder of Telegram. It's just going around. I just watched it just before I got on here this evening, and unfortunately, I was so tired after weeding. I weeded myself into a frenzy today, trying to get the front yard finished up, and I sat here and I fell asleep a little bit through the interview. He's a Russian guy, and he has a tough accent, but you can get a lot of it. But you might look at that. He's a very, very interesting person, very bright, obviously, to create Telegram with the help of his brother. He owns it 100%, and he is totally committed to truth only, or anybody can say anything, and he's not going to do any editing like Facebook and others. He doesn't work with any government agency to quell any information, anything like that. So he has a very interesting outlook on the whole thing. But I think you'd find it interesting. It's not political in a sense, except he relates to a few political issues, but not in any way except for informational. So you might look at that interview. I think you'd find it very interesting and enlightening on how he formed that Telegram, and it's got, he's getting, I don't know how current this is, but he says he's getting 2.5 million new users every day. Over.
Okay. Yeah, his name is Pavel Durov. And, so he's a Russian. That doesn't sound suspicious at all to me. Boy, okay. And with Tucker Carlson, I'm still dissecting his Mike Benz interview. So don't get me started about Tucker Carlson. But anyway, I'll cut it at that. So anyway, I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow night. So on 1296. So 7-3, have a good evening, and take good care. K6NYC, WA6AXX.
Well, other than asking questions, Tucker doesn't get involved in these discussions. He usually lets these people ramble on like he did Putin. He just lets them go, and he asks a question, and they sometimes will talk 5 or 10 minutes. And once in a while, Tucker will not interrupt, but at the end of a thought that the other guy has, he'll ask him another question, and one more thought, or I have a question related to, and stuff like that. But I don't think he forces the conversation in any given direction. He's about as benign an interviewer as you can imagine, but with very, very good, attentive questions. So I don't know how and the same with Mike Benz. Mike Benz, you could hardly get a word in edgewise. The guy's so loaded with information. So he didn't have much chance to ask Mike Benz very much, except occasionally. Anyway, good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow on 1296, and I'll see what I can turn up on the rest of this. Anybody else in the Bay Area for 6 meters? K6MYC Bozo Net. I think we're done. Let's see, any place else we should go, Rob, you think?
No, I guess we got it all. You say you called up in Nevada?
Yeah, well, I was pointed I thought at Nevada, but nobody else heard him either. So if Larry was here, somebody would have heard Larry. I would have heard him off to the side even.
Okay. That's all I got. How many did you have tonight?
Not many. I got 17, maybe 18 with me.
Yeah, I think I got 20, so I guess I'm good.
You got 20? You got somebody I didn't get. Who was that? N6RO. Oh, N6RO. Well, your number. Let me make a transmission, Ken. I've lost calibration on the antenna. I recalibrated the controller, but it still may be off a little bit. Give me some chatter, and I'll see if I can peek on you. Go ahead, Ken.
K6NYC, N6RO.
You must have turned it over. I just started to come back on you. I lost you.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is N6RO in Oakley, Charlie 1997. Starting with a new radio. K6NYC, N6RO.
Well, it seems to be right on. You're just weak. Are you giving me 5 or 10 watts from the 705?
Yeah, 5 watts. 5 watts.
Well, no wonder I'm struggling with you.
Yeah, well, I'm just playing with a new toy.
Yeah, well, I'm getting the heading correct, so I'm right around 300 degrees. It seems to be where the peak is. But I've also got noise tonight, so when I get to 300 degrees, my solar power friend next door, or a block or a quarter mile away, is just tearing me up. Over.
Yeah, okay. Well, next week I'll be back with 1500 watts.
CBS.
Well, I just discovered a problem in my satellite. I'm now getting
Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, Ken, Ken, N6RO W6BBS. Just to let you know, you're coming in S7 into course gold tonight, over with your 5 watts.
Okay, thanks. Well, you guys are all over S9. If there's a phone call radio, I'm just getting used to using the menus, which is different for me. I'm a knob and button guy. But having just come out of the new course, which is what radio is about, N6RO.
All right, very good. Have a good evening, Ken. Enjoy your toy. Go ahead, Mike. W6BBS, back to net.
Yeah, well, you'd be Q5 if it wasn't for this terrible noise. If you listen to the stream, you can see what I'm dealing with. It's awful tonight. It goes away when I get right into the Bay Area, but from there on up, it's terrible. Okay, Ken, good enough, 7.3. The toy's working. The audio could have a little more punch. I think that's what I'm not hearing, is the sharpness and the crispness that you have on the other radios, because they're all tuned up for contesting and so on. This one doesn't have the highs. I don't think that would help me with a little bit more readability. But it's good, clean audio, I think, as best I can tell. 7-3, Ken, and we'll see you tomorrow. K6MYC. Good night.
Yeah, good night. Thanks a lot. See you on the very high band tomorrow.
Roger, roger. Okay, anybody else before we close the net here? Rob, anybody down south you think we should try for?
I don't know anybody down in the Bakersfield area that's got 6 meters. KB6RQU used to, but he's not on anymore, over.
That's for sure. Okay. Were you able to copy Ed's comments?
Yep, I was listening to him.
Okay.
Did we get Bill or Mike, Jake checking in tonight?
No, neither one.
Do they have 6 meters?
No. They both have 6, yes.
Huh, I don't know. Yeah, I recounted. I got 21.
Well, maybe I missed some people here. I don't even think I got 16 here.
Well, Mike, you might have not had me down or Bozo 1100.
Oh, I don't have either one of you. Does Rob have you?
Roger.
Yes, sir. I was on frequency before you switched over. I was listening to you wrap up the 220 net when I came over here and started talking with Rob. So yeah, I'm actually at the top of the list. K6USY 1079.
Okay, and I just put USY and ZKA in, so that brings the total up to about 19 and 20 with me, over. So we're close, Rob.
Okay, yep. I know I heard everybody. I got marked down, over.
Yeah, okay. Very good. Well, listen, I'm going to get out of here. Been a long net and a long day, but so I'm ready to shut down and take a break here, maybe have a little dessert and relax and maybe slide between the covers here shortly. See you tomorrow on 1296, Rob, and everybody else that's managed to stick around here. Good evening to you, Aaron, and the XYL Brittany, and good to have you in here and helping with the. Okay. What do you think about my noise, Aaron?
It's terrible. Fortunately, it's cool down here. No one's running their air conditioners, so my noise score is at S0. But it won't be like that here in a couple months when all the air conditioners come on.
Well, you can see with all the noise that you're hearing on the stream what I'm dealing with tonight. It's awful.
Oh yeah, you and Ken apparently tonight just had really terrible noise scores and. Yeah, I heard N6RO said he got a 705. I got one sitting here right on the desk. So yeah, he's definitely gonna be playing with that for a couple weeks.
Okay, now listen to the stream. Now go ahead.
Nothing.
Yeah, I just turned to. I'm at 272 due west, and the noise goes right away. Almost.
Yeah. So right now, this is with the noise blinker off.
I can tell. Yeah, that's just a little residual in there. It'll get, noise breaker pretty much takes it out, but it still leaves you with a little bit of speech distortion. So that's what I was struggling with tonight.
Alrighty, well we'll catch you on 1296 tomorrow, K6USY, DMO6.
Roger, thank you, 7-3. Oh yeah, 7-3 to you, Rob, and Frank, good evening. I think, are we going to see you tomorrow, Frank?
I do believe that is the plan, sir.
Okay, good deal. Well, Judy was having all kinds of problems with the computer, and Matt came home and realized that the computer had gone off, and when there was either a glitch in the server or something, but he rebooted the computer up and everything came up, but it's working fine now. So she was locked out, couldn't do anything earlier, but apparently it's fixed now. We were going to send it in to let Robert work it over, but apparently there's no need. It was just glitched because the server had given it I don't know what happens with these things, but Matt just restarted it, I guess, and everything went okay.
Yeah, okay, and I'll look at that, I can look at the notifications and warnings and stuff too and look into that virus issue. A lot of times you're getting Windows pop-ups and things, and it will, it'll catch something, on a web page or something, and it'll block it, and then it'll send you a message, and it'll try to get you to buy more protection. And it very well could be that, but I'll take a look at that. You guys just got to remind me to look at that stuff for you. Over.
Yeah. We will do that.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow. W6BBS. Good night, everybody.
Okay, my phone's working pretty good, but the only thing we got a call from, who did we get a call from? Somebody called me just before net time here. It was Robert, actually. It was still during work. It was 4 o'clock or a little bit before 4 he called me. And we heard this weird sound. The phone was laying over on the table because I haven't put it on yet, as it has been goofed up. And so it was laying over on the table, and Judy and I are sitting there. What the hell is that? It's some kind of weird do-do-dee-doo-doo, or something. And it was the phone ringing. But we had left it just a few minutes earlier. She had switched it back to classic old-time ringtone. And we played it, and she didn't save it. Like you said, all you have to do is get out of it if you got it in that format. And we got out of it, but it came up in this other thing. So maybe you can look at that and get it so it rings right when we call it over.
Yeah, roger that. All those technical issues, you just got to, I think Judy's been keeping lists, and if she's got a list of all those kind of issues that I should fix, then we can just go right down the list and knock them out, over.
Well, we got everything now. We got the speaker on, and it's loud. We've got the speaker fixed, so it's quite audible and quite loud. We've got all the contacts in, and apparently I haven't tried it yet, but I think I can call and use Siri to make a call. And Matt called me and left some messages earlier in the week, or last week. So I think all that's working. We just got the speaker sounding good today, and we went back and checked the ringtone, and it had been turned off. It keeps turning it off, or it doesn't save it. And then there's no ring at all. And it doesn't ring at all. And then she set it on the classic old ringtone, and this weird ding-dong thing came up. So that's the last one that I know that's a major glitch, over.
Yeah, okay, we can look at that too. Just like I say, you guys make a note of that stuff so we remember everything when we start doing it.
Yeah, it's funny because she goes in, she finds sounds, she goes down, we find a classic old ringtone, a phone ring and all that. We bring it, we play it, it comes out beautiful. I said, yeah, that's what I want. According to Frank, all you have to do is just leave it there and go out of the program or go out of the settings menu, and it stays. But apparently it doesn't stay. So there you are. Okay. It's not like she doesn't know how to do it. She went through it, and it's there. We just don't know how to save it. Apparently there's some save mode or something, because every time we go out, it doesn't keep it. 7-3, good night, and we'll see you in the morning. W6BBS and the gang, K6MYC, clear.
WB6JN.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Dave. Sorry. We got you. WB6JNP. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought you had a question for me earlier, so I sort of hung around.
what?
I said I thought you had a question for me earlier, so I sort of hung around.
No, that was from yesterday. I was just confirming that your last name was Walker, over.
QSL, and by the way, it still is.
Isn't that amazing?
So I think we're in good shape. We leave tomorrow for Stockton, so we'll be up at River Point, and we'll be there for about a week, so I will be portable.
Okay, we'll do our best to keep an ear out for you. Hopefully I won't fight this terrible noise that I have tonight. On any other band, it shouldn't be a problem. Thanks, Dane. Sorry I forgot you there, but I was intent on picking up the more difficult station there that fades in and out. Hi.
Okay, by the way, do you still have an old 736R laying around?
I have one, but I don't think it's functional. It was sort of a parts radio, but yeah, it's here, and you're welcome to take and get whatever you want out of it, over.
Okay, yeah, I'm still looking for one, and I've been known to rebuild a thing or two, so keep me in mind when I get back from this excursion. Like I said, it'll be about a week. We can get together on it.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's here, and again, it seems like it's all complete, but I haven't looked inside, but looking at the front of it, it looks like a nice radio. Ken Holiday had 3 or 4 or 5 of these. Rob's got one right now, but he kind of wanted to hang on to it because it has 222 in it. That's why he's hanging on to it, but eventually that radio will come available too on the long term. So that's one also. And I don't know where I've done with the other ones, but I had 2 others, but I don't know where they are now.
Okay, well, I know one of them went to Rob with the 222 module, and you seem to think at the time it was a loaner. Rob seemed to think at the time he bought it, so that's the one I was actually after. But, yeah, the basic radio, because you can drop a 222 module in along with a 1296, was really of interest to me. So I remember you have one of the parts radios, and so I'm sort of getting to the point where I'm going to be collecting 736 parts.
Yeah, well, you can certainly take this one and go through it and see what's missing and see what it's worth to you to keep it for spare parts or whatever. It's a clean radio, and it may have 99% of the parts in it, over.
Okay, well, I remember one time you and I were talking, maybe 2-3 years ago, and you had mentioned that you took the power supply out of one, and I didn't know what the status was.
Yeah, well, I've forgotten too. This one may not have a power supply in it, but you don't have to have the power supply to run it. You can run it on an external supply, so that's what I've done in the past. The supplies that were built for them originally were kind of flaky. They didn't have the technology down pat very well on switching supplies, so the power supplies were not always that good, over.
Yeah, well, I've got a I think it's a 221, which was a Yaesu, and kind of a nice little radio on 2 meters, old analog radio. And mine, I always had a report on sideband that sounded like it was FMing. And one day I switched from the internal supply to an external 12 volt, and gee, all of a sudden that FMing issue went away. So I know that Yaesu's had power supply issues for one reason or another.
Yeah, I was turning the antenna toward you to get a little better signal to noise ratio, and it went worse.
Okay, well, you're only about 5 over.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, you're loud down, and you're fine except for this horrible buzzing in there. All right. We can talk about the 736 at your convenience, or you can come by and pick it up. And then, like I say, it's Rob is the one that's going to determine when he wants to get rid of that one.
Well, if if you happen to talk to him along the way, can you move my name up on the list to number 1?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, we'll let you go. Have a good evening. WB6JMP course call.
Yeah, what he needs, basically, he's got a 9700, so he really doesn't need the radio for anything except 222. So if he had a 222 transverter from Q5 signal, then that radio could be yours, I'm sure. There would be no reason for him to keep it over.
Okay, well, like I said, I'm not thinking quite in that direction right now, but that sounds like a plan. And, when I get back from this little outing, we'll definitely start working in that direction.
Alrighty. Very good. Let you go. Good evening to you. I'm going to go in and take a break, maybe get a cookie and some milk and my vitamins and go to bed.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm missing is, I think it's called dinner. Anyway, 73, WB6JMP course call.
Oh, did you miss your dinner? Sorry about that.
Ma'am, I snack all the time.
All right. Good night.
12122, 6KD.
Oh, KO6KD, is that you, Bill?
Yes, it is, Mike. I got the FT2000 in line now. Can you hear me at all?
Yeah, it's better. Copy. I'm not quite. Let me see where I'm pointed here. Hang on. Well, I'm pretty close. I was clear up here at 3-2. There you go. I am pointed towards Sacramento, so I'm on you, and it's almost Q5, and it's not your fault. It's probably Q5 with difficulty, only because of this horrible noise, Bill. Over. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I can't see good enough anymore, and I thought I was in the 0 mode, and I was in the 2 mode, so I touched the button on the controller, and it went up to 355, so I missed your comment. Try again.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm on the FT2000 now. It's got a little more power output, not by much, but a little more. So, anyway, this is the way it's going to have to be for the time being, and we'll see how it goes on the HF when I finish getting things plugged in.
Yeah, well, it sounds pretty good. It's Q4, but it's not your fault. It's just this goddamn noise in the background. It's Q4, and I could probably squeeze a little bit more if I wiggled the antenna back and forth a little bit. And I lost you altogether. What the hell happened now? I just touched the button and moved it 3 or 4 degrees. Well, I touched the button in mode 2, and mode 2 brought up 355 or 359 degrees, so it went due north, and that's why I went away. Oh, God, I'm tired. Let me get out of here. Maybe we'll see you in the morning on 40 for just a few minutes. Over.
Yeah, we'll definitely try to check in on Wednesday. Then you said tomorrow would be a short day anyway, so we'll try. We'll see how it works out. All right, 73 KO6KD.
Yeah, well, most of the time your barefoot rig was fine. You had tons of signal for me when you were barefoot. You never needed the amplifier when we had 40-meter short skip propagation. So I'm sure the 100 watts will be more than adequate, Bill. So don't feel paranoid about being down 3 dB. I don't think it's going to make a hell of a difference. Okay, good night. I lost all of that. We went down on a fade, but we'll catch you in the morning. Bye.
Roger, Roger.